I don't know why I'm still here when I don't have a purpose or matter to anyone anymore. I should just end it all and set myself free. This was written in my journal on January 5, 2020, after I posted, I'm dying, I'm dead, on my WhatsApp story. This time I was contemplating suicide because my existence didn't matter to me anymore. It felt like I was dead to myself and invisible to everyone else. 3 days later, I discovered it was athazagoraphobia. I know that sounds funny, but that's an actual word. And athazagoraphobia is the anxiety felt about being left by others, or when you feel unimportant. Now that little voice in my head got louder and kept on repeating that I wasn't worth anything and I should unburden myself and others by committing suicide. I left all my social media accounts and sank deeper in loneliness. Although the next day, I got calls from my friends and acquaintances asking if I was okay, and truly that was the first time I felt visible in a long time, but I don't know if you currently feel invisible or unimportant. And if you do, I don't know the reason why, because I don't know your story. It might be because you feel like the least important in your friend group, feeling like your absence or presence wouldn't make a difference, or because you've checked out of your own life. Whatever the case may be, I truly recorded this episode thinking of you. Welcome to Healthy Minds Talk, a podcast created to help you grow, bring awareness to mental health, and also remind you that it's not all in your head. There's hope, even when your brain tells you there isn't. I'm Praise Victor, and I remain your host on this show. Sometimes life feels pointless, and it becomes harder for you to get through this phase because you feel like your mind is against you. Now, at this point in your life, I just want to tell you that you are allowed to cry, to scream, to get upset, to feel frustrated. You are allowed to feel. You are allowed to want to feel seen or feel visible again, to take up space for hugs, to ask for support, because you do deserve support. And I want you to know that your life is important and you do deserve to feel safe. Sometimes when life is pointless, it's because we feel stuck. We know that we're probably not like where we want to be in life, and we don't know what is it, or probably we don't know what it is that we want or how to get to where we want to get to. Life can feel pointless because you're putting a lot of time and energy into things that aren't fulfilling you, so you feel empty. Now, at times like this, it can be helpful to, brainstorm loads of different options. You could try changing something, no matter how little it is. Just try to change something out of your routine, because it can be so frustrating when your everyday life is like a routine. Like, okay, let me say, for example, you wake up, you have your bed, prepare for the day, go to work, spend your whole day at work, doing a work that you do not actually love or have a passion for, and then you come back home tired and frustrated about your day. Then you go to bed, you wake up the next day, and it's the same thing. Perhaps you could try something new. Like, try finding a passion or something that you never even thought of doing before. You need to cut yourself some slack. You are not pointless, and your life is not pointless. Our unrealistic expectations of ourselves can leave us feeling useless and pointless because we feel like we're not enough. The contributions we make to society feel pointless because other people have contributed more. But other people's contributions do not actually invalidate your contributions. Other people's achievements do not invalidate your own achievements. You are enough. Your life is not pointless. Now, whenever you feel invisible, instead of like isolating yourself like I did 2 years ago and drowning in lonely, toxic thoughts, I just want you to go outside, take a walk. The more you isolate yourself, the more unimportant you feel. And when you're alone, all you think is negative thoughts. And at that point in time, they would look like the actual facts, but your thoughts are not facts. I want you to probably take a walk, listening to soothing music, and just breathe. A few days ago, I didn't feel like my existence was pointless, but I just, I was down. Let me just use the word down. I don't want to use the word depressed because I was not depressed, but I was down emotionally, and I talked to my friend about it. We talked about it, but it still did not remove that burden that I felt on the inside of me. And I don't know if you know this, but I'm a spiritual person. So after I talked to my friend and I found out that the feeling wasn't going anywhere, I prayed. And after praying, I felt better. So if you're a spiritual person like me, you should also try praying. Most times we automatically numb our feelings because it's easier to protect ourselves in quote and act like everything is fine than feel the real pain we're going through underneath. The more you numb your pain, the more disconnected you are from reality. When you allow yourself to feel and understand what you're going through, you can be mindful and neither suppress nor intensify your negative emotions. And this helps you become aware of what you can and cannot control. I also want you to study yourself and know how much time you spend on social media. You know, at that point, you feel like you're watching the rest of the world enjoy their lives while you're stuck in a dark place with no one to turn to. If you're currently in this situation, unplug. I know it's hard, but start by limiting the time you spend online. Have compassion on yourself and try to, perform activities that don't involve electronic devices. Now, I don't think people fully understand the concept of self-compassion. Self-compassion involves you not judging yourself based on how you're feeling, but reminding yourself that everyone has bad days. And although some bad days last longer than others, but there are also people out there who feel the same way and can help you. But you can only do this if you choose to be vulnerable and don't self-isolate. Whenever you're in a dark place, be gentle with yourself. How do you treat your best friend or family member whenever they're sad or in pain? Do you treat yourself with that same kind of love? Or are you always judgmental and unkind when it comes to you? I want you to try performing an activity today. Try writing yourself a self-compassion letter in your journal. I know that I just started this podcast and I haven't talked about journaling and what it does, how it helps, but I'm going to talk about that one of these days. But you don't necessarily have to buy a journal and know it's a journal. You can just grab a book or a jotter and just write yourself a self-compassion letter. Talk to yourself like someone you love. In your journal, your jotter, your book, whatever it is you're using to pen your thoughts down, I want you to think of the pain you are going through. Write down what that pain is all about and the negative feelings that come with it. Don't judge yourself for feeling this way while writing. Just write and remember that you are loved. For example, I think I wrote this self-compassion letter in my journal in 2020. Let me read it for you guys. Okay. I said, "Dear Praise, I know you currently feel like you don't exist, and life would be so much better when you are dead because you wouldn't be a burden to anyone anymore. But you are wrong. Even though you'd hate to admit it, there are people who love you. And I know that might not help you feel better right now because they don't know what you're going through. However, don't hate yourself for feeling this way. This feeling has been stuck with you since you were a lonely child, but you're not alone now. You might think that no one cares, but they actually do. They just might not show it the way you want them to, which is why you feel worse. But you are loved and not forgotten. You are not needy for feeling this way. Take a mental step back and don't identify with your thoughts. You've made an impact in people's lives, and someone out there is grateful for what you once told them. You are not what your inner critic said you are. Okay, this was this is deep. This was a self-compassion letter I wrote to myself when I was like feeling down. So you should definitely try it. Try writing yourself. It's like writing yourself a love letter, but it's not like a love letter. It's a self-compassion letter. You just treating yourself in that down state the way you would treat someone you love, a family member or a close friend. Simply identify and accept what you're feeling. You don't have to push it away. You don't have to numb your feelings and be like, no, I'm this person, I'm not supposed to be feeling this way. You are human, okay? And there'd be times you'd have good feelings and bad feelings, positive and negative feelings, and that's totally fine. It's part of the human experience. But do not identify with your negative feelings. Simply accept it that, okay, I'm feeling down, I'm feeling sad, and don't hate yourself for it. I just want you to be self-aware and know what triggered this feeling. Or you can just go back to the experience. Understand that experience and just remind yourself that you're past that. You're not the same person as before, and you choose to not let that experience or situation control you. If you're feeling as if life is pointless right now, I'm not expecting you to get out of bed and say, no, I know that you are strong and you can actually overcome this, but I'm not expecting you to just push those feelings away. Okay? I hear you, I see how hard you're trying, and I just hope that you're able to do a little bit of self-care. I hope you can think back to all the times that you've coped with negative stuff and you overcame them. I want you to recognize how strong you are, and I want you to, just try so much not to stay in that same dark pit, not to make that feeling your everyday life, not to make it your reality. Just try putting one foot in front of the other for the next day. If all you're able to do today is take just one step forward towards not feeling this way, I'm proud of you. And I want you to know that you are loved, you are cherished, you are not forgotten. Well, that's it for today's episode, guys. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with your friends, your family, your co-workers, who you think would enjoy this episode too. And you can also listen to it again and again whenever you feel alone or you feel down. I just want you to remember that you are human. You're not weird for feeling this way. It's normal, but I just do not want you to stay stuck in that place that you are. I want you to remember that you are strong. You can get through this. You are loved. You are not forgotten, and I see you. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at This My Little World and on Twitter at Healthy Minds. I'll see you guys next Monday.